I clicked it.
You know, people aren't going to know this is on yet because it's not even 7:10 yet Pacific time.
Why
I
be on
feel
time?
rushed. I feel rushed right now.
You feel rushed?
I feel like whoa, hey, ease into this. 7:07.
Well, you're
But
gonna feel it pinned in a minute, buddy, because I'm gonna pin it.
damn, I'm ready. I'm ready. We already have some fine members joining us in the comments. Facebook user, what's up?
I wish we could interview Mark Zuckerberg and we could talk to him about how Facebook is almost awesome,
Almost.
but they just keep missing things that just drive you crazy.
One feature of Facebook they have figured out is sometimes when I'm like trying to find the group, you know how the group's always moving around on your phone. You have to like, oh, is it this menu or is it this button over here?
Right. Right.
Well, sometimes I get to like the screens where it's showing you like the reels. I never go to like actual reel tab and watch Facebook reels.
No.
They have a habit of showing me the beginning clips of those 3 seconds on repeat of the Facebook reel. And it's
Right.
always like, oh man, something was about to happen right there. And I click them. They suck me in. They know when to feel. They're like, if it was just one more second, I would have seen the funny thing happen. So now I have to watch the whole video.
I don't like that. Second I post something, I want to look at it. So then I refresh,
Don't
and
do
it's
that.
not there. And then I have to like either search for my name or resort it to most recent, but then it's not always there. And if you search by your name, it only shows you like 4 things that you've done in the last 4.5 years. Like, not helpful.
Whoa. We have some friends with us this evening. Like,
We
oh,
do. Yeah, Facebook likes to think of itself as a search engine, but it's really kind of not a search engine. What's up, Christian?
it's a
Tom,
personal information.
Did you meet Christian at Blade Show?
Didn't I? I thought so. I believe so.
Good
You did,
dude.
right?
We've been talking a lot. Algorithms are awful. I agree.
Yes, that is one thing I always try to like encourage others. Sometimes the algorithm just doesn't like your posts and you don't get any likes, and it's not your fault. It's the algorithm's fault. So just keep on trying.
Right. So everybody, sorry for being late. Welcome to FFIB. I'm Jason. That's Tom, and we are Finger Flicked in Box. We're brought to you tonight by Arno Bernard, our favorite new pet line that is not sponsoring the show. But like many people who went to Blade Show, we picked up a knife from this South African knife maker, and we're all kind of in love with it. So it's been said, Tom, that this knife is a Sebenza with bearings. What do you think?
My reaction when I saw Blake's, so I got my Kone at Blade Show. I'm all excited. Then Blake walks over with his, looks just like that PJ, and he hands it to me, and I'm like, it looks like I thought it was going to be a CRK. Like I've seen a CRK. I can't open a CRK though. And he
Right.
handed me the knife, and I opened it. So I said it was a CRK that I can open. Pretty simple. Like
Right.
that's a big accomplishment for me.
Right. Can I do it? I did it. So yeah, made in South Africa, titanium and RLW 34. It's a really nice little knife, and I almost don't want to tell you guys because they're already hard to get. But they're available in plain Jane. They're available like Tommy's here with inlays, multiple styles of inlays. I believe there's a warthog tusk, Tom.
Well, let's put it this way. This inlay is either the least expensive or the second least expensive after micarta, and this is fat carbon. All
Right.
the other inlays are fancier than fat carbon by a lot. Like they're majestic and like
Yeah, there's a
bones
fake
and
ivory.
teeth.
There's mammoth tusk, mammoth tooth, warthog
Mammoth tooth.
tusk.
So Sean got the mammoth tooth. That's what that one was, right?
Yeah.
It's got the lines in it. So what is that like slice of what? It's just crazy cool looking. It looks like a rock.
So a mammoth tooth grows scales every year that the animal's alive, like rings of a tree.
Okay.
And the surface that is used for chewing is this end. So when you look at his knife, you see layers that are stacked like this.
Yeah.
Someone took a mammoth tooth, sealed it in epoxy, and then sliced it like this and made strata of it, right?
Ooh.
So you're seeing lines. Those are the like rings of growth in tooth.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Kudu bone. Yes, I don't know what a kudu is, but they got those.
Yeah, that
RLW34 is the new hotness. That's right. It's basically train track steel.
59 HRC, but it's really shiny.
It's a wonderful blade for this purpose because it's very easy to polish. You can put a beautiful polish on RLW34. It's reasonably tough. Edge retention is probably, I don't know, 30th best, 35th best on the Laren Thomas chart, but sure is a beautiful knife. And good thing Tom and I know how to sharpen things.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the beautiful part about sharpening stuff? Is any knife can be really sharp. Any knife can be really sharp, and then you get to enjoy sharpening it again.
I've owned some knives in my life that could not be sharp.
That's kind of true, actually.
So the maker is named Arno Bernard from South Africa. And one by one, all my friends at Blade Show managed to find that brand and bought one. And one by one, they all brought it to me and went, "Have you seen one of these?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. The last guy had one." And by the end of the show, I hadn't purchased one and I was angry about it. And on the drive home from Blade Show, I saw one used in a group and I grabbed it. And I kind of glad I did because now I know they're very hard to get from the dealer.
Well, they're going to be a lot harder to get because right now there's only one U.S. distributor, I believe. It's African Sporting Goods or something like that.
My new favorite knife store.
Yeah. So if you want to check them out, go to African Sporting Goods, I believe it is. Search Arnold Bernard, and it'll show you all the cool inlays and awesome options they have. All the things on the website say they're shipping this fall. Is that accurate, I think?
Yeah, I'm thinking like September shipping. So you're probably pre-ordering now for a knife that's not made yet. But yeah, they're pretty sweet. It's not a Spyderco, but that's okay. It's kind of heavy because there's not weight relief titanium, but they're awfully sturdy. I took mine apart and I found that the bearings were not caged; they were open bearings. Everybody else that I know who has one has caged bearings, so I think I'm the only one. But caged or not, they open very nice. African Sporting Creations, they're called. And I believe it's African AC is their website.com.
It's really cool having a mirrored blade. I like this. I feel like I'm almost as cool as Walter Calico, but not quite.
Oh, we should send it to Walter and see what he can do with it.
Oh, he'd make it like invisible. You wouldn't even see it.
Rumor has it they took it to 1,000 grit. So I bet Walter would go like 100,000 grit. I bet he's covered up with a lot of work.
Well, Jason, I mean, I'd love to talk to you right now, but I gotta do some shopping while we're talking. I gotta talk and buy some stuff real quick.
Okay.
Because I'll let you see what I'm gonna buy.
Are you out of Pernod?
No, I'm out of scales. So I was thinking.
Oh yes, that's wonderful. 40% off
right now at Rips Garage Tech. It's not just one of those like 40% off of MSRP things, like, you know, how knives get advertised. Everything on Rip's website is literally 40% off of its normal cost. Everything. So you put something in your cart, it's 40% off. So he's been going gangbusters selling stuff today. And I'm just going to kind of show you guys some stuff that you can have for a great price. Like these smock scales would be like $66.
He has black Ultim smock scales in stock.
Yep.
I can't believe it.
Different.
Guys, if you don't own a set of those yet, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Those are cool as hell.
The ones I wanted to show you guys, there's lots of cool stuff. Lots of Ultim, lots of little natives. Man, stuff's starting to sell out though because these were in stock earlier. These featherwhites. The king of his scales to me though is, man, he's got so much stuff. Para titanium, clips.
Kid's got 6 CNC machines. By the way, he also has a screw making Swiss lathe, so now he'll be making screw sets.
Here, these ones right here. These are probably the favorite scales that I own are these in stonewashed. Are probably my favorite scales. They're normally $180 and they're $108 right now on sale. I can't recommend these more. This is a crazy good deal. So go grab some stuff off his website if you've been thinking about it, because he does sales. He's done it before, but nothing like this before.
Yeah, he's done sales, but it's always been
It's like 20, sometimes 30. I think
20%.
30 might have been a big one, but 40
Yeah,
is
40's bananas.
yeah. So anyway, hit up Rip's Garage Tech before stuff sells out. You can ask. My friend Paul has problems deciding when there's too many options on awesome things, and he had a bunch of stuff sitting in his cart, and some of the stuff sold out while he was in his cart, just making decisions.
That helps you make decisions, doesn't it?
It does. Nice.
By the way, did you happen to notice Brian Roden is back?
I did.
Brian's been kind of on low key, kind of quiet lately. He's been MIA. I don't know. Maybe there was like a mail crisis. The government needed him.
See, I never know if people just disappear or if Facebook stops showing me people. But then when they return to my life, I realize they were missing.
Yeah,
I realize they're missing.
No, he dropped a couple knife sermons recently, and they were majestic. But I realized how much I missed him in my life. So welcome back, Brian. Tom is costing me money. I think you did that on your own, Christian. You said on Friday you were in there buying them. Yeah, so don't buy the yellow ones, buy the black ones. They come in black Ultim. Paul was Mia. Yeah, you can do that nowadays.
It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, we still love you, Mia.
I will warn you though, if my mother finds some emotional attachment to you, whether you know her or not, but if she's aware that you are not in the group commenting like you used to, she will call me and ask me what's going on with you.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm talking to all of you.
Yeah.
Any regularly contributing members, if you stop regularly contributing, I get a phone call from Mama Moore saying,
Yep.
What's up? You need to moderate your group better.
Mama Moore knows when you guys she sees you when you're sleeping. She knows when you're awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the hype with Ultim? It's new. That's about it, right? It's a plastic. It's kind of new in the knife world. It is not new in many other parts of the world. It's been there, done that in the firearms world. But yeah, it's just a good feeling, durable, high quality plastic.
That is, I mean, I have not owned Ultim scales yet. I'd probably get the black one if I did. I don't find them, I call them apple cider colored. We'll call it that. But it is interesting how like these trends of scales coming in and out in new materials. So pretty soon, I'm excited when we finally get to like PM2s with like the iMama kind of inlays for handles. That's what I'm excited for. One day we'll get there. We'll get woolly mammoth tooth PM2s from Spyderco. They're gonna run out of other material.
I want fossilized saber-tooth tiger bone myself.
I can go with that.
Let's see. We're being asked for the pricing on the Arno Bernard. So let me pull up the website and we'll look at that.
Mine was $560 at Blade Show. I think that's how much they are on the website for the inlaid fat carbon one.
By the way, if you want a Tom, if you want a one of those safari jackets, like
with the pockets,
yeah, like the guy from Magnum PI. What was his name?
Isn't his name Magnum PI?
No, the rich guy, the one that owned the house in Hawaii.
I don't know. I didn't watch that.
We'll call him Smithers. Yeah, if you want a coat like Smithers, they've got him. Here we go. Arno Bernard knives. Let's look at the folding knives. They have a Marquise collection.
I've never really looked through a safari website. There might be some really rad stuff on here.
They have some jaunty stuff. I'll tell you what, the natural warthog tusk is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
The kudu bone is cool. Desert ironwood is way overpriced, but really cool. Ironwood is a really good wood for knives, but why is it more than the bone? I don't understand.
So my plan, which I thought of shortly after getting this and kind of regretting not getting a fancier inlay, is I need to go through the list of materials Scott Lacey sent me. But I'm going to pick out one of those exotic materials and have these replaced on my own. So I'm going to get. I think it's a great idea. Really make it different. He sent me like links to a whole bunch of sites that they go through. Like different bones, and all sorts of stuff. If you were going to
guys,
choose for this,
the price on this is competitive with a Chris Reeve. It's not. I don't think it's the same knife. I think it vaguely resembles it if you squint hard. Like the logo's in the same spot as a Chris Reeve. Other than that, I don't know. It's not exactly the same.
I just say that because I saw it and I'm like, it looks like one because it's the blasted titanium, kind of the same shape, and it's from South Africa.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
By the way, there's flipper and flipperless. Flipper delete.
Honestly, flipper delete's not a bad way to go.
Flipper delete is just fine if you're right-handed. I would recommend it.
So is that the slip joint one?
No.
That's not a slip joint. Okay.
Oh, it is actually. I'm sorry. That is the slip joint. We want the iMamba. I wonder if it's Mamba, not iMamba. It's probably not iMamba, like an internet thing.
No, this is sad to me. So everyone and all the group chats is commenting like iPhone. I'm like, guys, there's no fucking way it's that way. No, it is. I was like, if you search for Mamba, the only thing that comes up is a snake. If you search for iMamba, the only thing that comes up with is that knife. And it is, like it shows on the website, iMamba.
It's not a Koenig flipper delete, but it's pretty good.
It's like there's a decent amount of purchase on this folder. It's not super deep though. It's like a little lip there. So it's right. You got to be kind of make sure you put your finger all the way in it. It's not as simple as a Koenig's.
Yeah, Matthew, we started, I don't know, 12 minutes ago. So welcome. Yeah, I think Mamba belongs to a former LA Laker. Ryan, hi Carly. Hi mailman. I pooped. Greg Bartram says he doesn't see the delete on the site. I think you're right. May not be pre-ordering the deletes, but I didn't see it either. Good eye, Greg. I kind of blew right by that. I just know they exist because Greg has one.
Because Greg has one.
I got to play with it. It was nice. It looked good as a flipper delete, and I didn't have trouble. I didn't have trouble kicking it out. So I know he likes it well enough to want another one. So
after thinking about that flipper delete, I realized I have a Koenig flipper delete that I've really neglected. This thing's never been in a pocket, and I got this at Blade Show last year. This is a fun flipper delete though. This is pretty good.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I forget how much I like these a lot. I was like going through selling some Koenigs this week and like got this one out. Like I've never carried this, and then I kind of played with the flipper delete. Flippers are cool, but as long as you can open it one way easily, that's all that really matters.
John Scarborough says club knife ? Do you guys want to hear about it every time we learn something, or do you only want to hear about it when there's good news? Those are two different things.
Let's give them some hard truth.
Should we give them hard truth?
Well, my latest update, I think, is probably the same as the latest update you heard, and it's okay. It's not ideal.
It's not done yet.
No, it's not ideal.
They haven't started either. So it'll be a while. So I know you guys are really hoping for weekly updates. We can't give you a weekly update. There is no update.
I'll just say this. If we get this in the year 2023, I'd be ecstatic. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So it'll come. It'll come.
So, yeah, no news. No good news.
It was starting to sound worse, but it's sounding better than it
was. No, it's worse.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Danny's got it. Crickets. Rip's Garage is 40% off. Yeah, Patrick, we covered that. We showed the website. There's a lot of good stuff on there. You should go get some. Patrick, your picture is freaking me out. What are you doing? You look like you're about to wrestle Ted DiBiase or maybe The Undertaker. Like that is some serious like pondering that you're doing there. Maybe even like Conan the Barbarian level. At the end of Conan,
It's
Tom,
a very intimidating photograph. I'm
you might
not
not
gonna
have
lie.
seen Conan the Barbarian, but at the end where he's like sitting on the throne and he's just thinking, it's that level of thinking. Yeah, focus is the right word. He's focusing. Hey, good, nailed it. Yeah, it's not a simple thing to change the contract to a dodo. It's going to take a while.
Serrated, right?
Yeah, Facebook user, you're right.
They started teasing
We
about this
thought we
last
timed it
year.
well. We thought we timed it right, but we didn't time it right. So blame us if you want.
Well, he said teasing about it last year. We've been teasing this since 2021.
It's true, and we've been talking about it since 2020.
Yeah.
Sure hope it's not a dodo. Me too.
That is a knife I have not had the pleasure to tell someone I'm not going to sharpen for them.
Thank you, Facebook user. We'll get there. Let's see. Another thing I would like to talk about is the Millie 2. Millie 2, I've carried somewhat. At Blade Show, Tom, I had it in my pocket as I was walking down the hall, and I saw Eric Lesser. He had an armful of waters, and I stopped him, and I pulled it out of my pocket, and I was able to go, bro, I got it on me. And he was really excited to see it.
Awesome.
You'll notice there's some shmoo in the blade. I've used it to cut things like boxes with on it. And I put the clip tip up. I'm not certain that I love it tip up.
The only reason I don't like tip down is because it just looks funny to me. Like, honestly, I don't really give a crap about what way I pull it out of my pocket. It just looks funny, and then it's in your hand.
It does look funny, and also I do kind of like the fat part of the knife being in the pocket the deepest, because I feel like it's going to be harder for it to fall out. When it's upside down, it's easier for it to kind of squirt out. Like you could pinch it and it would kind of squirt out of your pocket.
Yeah.
But I got so used to carrying these tip down, I think I might put it back just to see what I think. But I definitely don't think this is the right pocket clip for it. It's not beefy enough. It doesn't quite have the same spring tension. It's a little too light. So I think I need to swap it regardless. So by the way, irregardless is not a word.
So that's a custom one. My MXG, that's kind of like that. This one works pretty well for me. But this is what I use my PM2s already.
Mine is not an MXG. This is actually a top secret clip that is not on the market yet. But when it comes to the market, I will tell you guys. I promise. I'll tell you what, the action on this knife is amazing.
It's really
There's no other word for it. It's really amazing. They polished the detent travel, so the detent just glides across the blade. The washers are slightly bigger than a PM2, so the surface area coverage is still really good. It's not that hard to dial it in so that it flicks and flops. So you'll notice I've got a little bounce on it. You can do that if you want to. You can really dial it in.
Mine is perfect with zero blade play, super easy to flick, drops just like I like it. Eric, when he was talking to us about these, he really emphasized how much work they put into getting the detent right. And I was like, okay, whatever. It makes sense. It really does, because it flicks amazing, and it's a lot of blade, but it feels very controllable. It feels just like playing with PM2, but you have a lot more.
If you lay it next to a PM2, it looks like a PM2, just like slightly zoomed in. No, sir. How dare you?
It's a lot more blade.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's like carving up a watermelon blade. Did I promise a poachy, Tom?
I don't know if anyone else can pull off a poachy like you can pull off a poachy. That's like your thing. It's like your
I like the psychological manipulation of it when I hand it to people, because they are scanning me to wonder if I'm actually pulling their leg or if I like it. They can't figure it out.
It is the most expensive novelty joke knife I know of. That's high quality made, not dissing that. Flipper action maybe the Pochi 2 will get to that flipper dial a little bit
Just
better.
wrist it as you flip it, and you're good.
This is an interesting question from
the man she tells you not to worry about. Yeah, that's the Millie too.
That's an interesting question because there's some wild knives. There's some I think that don't even qualify as PM2s anymore.
Somebody has like a Timascus handled
Chris
Van X
Moore.
reblade that's worth like $1,400.
Chris Moore has a Timascus, Damascus Rec rebladed. It's like is it a PM2? It has PM2 liners.
I think he sold it recently.
Oh.
But yeah, that might be the sickest one.
I used to think I had some pretty sick ones, but I've kind of toned it down a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, my wild ones aren't as wild as they get nowadays.
I do have a smoke show finished RG Custom Metalworks Rex 121. That ain't so bad. Oh, it's another one of those top secret clips.
Oh yeah.
Giddy up. But yeah, I would say anything like Zircutai or Timascus, they're out there.
One thing you have to know though, when you start getting into those super expensive knives, if you're looking for a bargain on a crazy knife, buy someone's super custom PM2 because it's not going to be worth anything compared to what they put into it. Just like fixing up a car, it's a labor of love if you love your PM2 and you want to customize it.
My 10V Scorpion Para 3 has detent lash. Movement when closed. What are my options? Any recommendations? I suggest you contact Brian at riversedgecutlery.com and work on getting a replacement. May as well talk about that. Yeah, that's why everyone's here. As of Tuesday, I no longer work at River's Edge Cutlery. It was not my decision. And that is all I'm going to say about it publicly. So you guys are just going to have to make do with that. But I'm no longer there. So I'm still here, still running the club with Tommy here. And yeah, on to the next adventure, I guess.
Something fun.
So that's as much as I'm going to say publicly about. I was going to save this to the end, but kind of snuck into the middle.
It's okay.
Something
else will come along. Something else will be. Life will be grand. It'll be okay.
Life is grand.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else can we talk about, Tom?
I've been feeling on this knife. We're gonna talk knives. It's a knife show. I figure we actually should. So, I've been feeling on this guy again a lot lately. It's been coming popular. My friend Ted Rhodes joined the group. I've known Ted for I don't know, like 8 or 9 years. He worked at Last General Contractor with me. Nicest dude I ever met. He left the company. I left the company a little bit later. But he's come back into my life, which I love. And I now suckered him into the world of Spyderco, and I got him hooked. And now he's like a real life friend. And today we went to the park with our sons, and we both got to pull out knives and show us what we had. So he had his Sage Lightweight I got him, and he asked me to bring this today because he really wants to buy one. And I didn't realize these are sold out everywhere right now. But they'll be back. I didn't know they were sold out everywhere. It's such a good knife.
I think of you sometimes, Tom, as a comet. You're like a comet, and you're just whizzing through space at 100,000 miles an hour. But the reality is you always circle back around the sun, and you always come back, right? And that knife is like the sun to you. Like you orbit around that knife.
I do. This is my one knife solution. I say this often. If I had to sell all my knives, which I've sold off about 75 or 80% of the knives I once sold. If I had to keep on going, this is the last one that's in the collection. It's not my favorite knife because it's not super fun to fidget with, but it's the best knife I own. It's the best knife, in my opinion, that's ever been made because it's got nothing you couldn't ask for anything better from a functionality standpoint. Like if you've ever held a native, you have like medium, large size hands like I do. Like it's incredible ergonomics. It's very precise control. I like working with a 3-inch blade instead of a 3.5-inch blade. It's just easier for me to cut with. It weighs 2.5 ounces because there's no liners, just solid carbon fiber. The carbon fiber is the best Spyderco does. It's actually contoured. So you can see there it's kind of like humped, and it's fluted. It's just beautiful. Blade steel is S90V, which is probably my favorite steel. It's stainless super steel. That's really hard to beat if you're going to do anything else stainless. And I liked it so much that I bought this knife in 2017, and I learned to sharpen on it. And I learned to improve my sharpening technique after messing up on this knife a bunch of times. So this knife I loved it. Kind of bummed me out to look at it, like seeing notches in the flat grind and spots where I'd messed up. So I took a lightweight and I stole the blade out of it and put it in here. So now it's like a brand new knife that I will take better care of this time and not nick up and look like crap. So
anyway. Finally bought one because you wouldn't stop talking about it for like a year and a half. And when I got it, I was horrified at how much money I'd spent for a knife with so few parts. But then when I opened it and it went ka-chunk as it opened, not even ka-chunk, it just went chunk. I was just like, wow, this thing's cool. And it is extremely nice. Like when you hold that knife and use it and look at it and play with it, it's one of their most impressive knives. It really is. If you want an upscale Spyderco, that's it.
Medium, large. I'm saying like I don't fit medium gloves. I don't fit large gloves. So I have like medium, large-ish hands. I don't know. Like hands from not a huge guy.
I think Tom and Jake Wright, they both have kind of the same sized hands. Like Jake will tell you that he wears a medium glove, but they're really snug.
I can't stand that. I have medium gloves and I don't like it.
Yeah.
In betweener.
Yep. Let's see what else can we talk about here. Kind of looking around, looking at all my stuff on my desk. My office is a total mess. I've been living like a bohemian for 60 days. So yeah, room is a dump, but I need to fix it up.
Yeah, I just keep the dump part below the camera for the most
Right,
part.
me too.
Not even all the dump part, just most.
Looks good here. Yeah.
There's like now that I sharpen knives, like people send me, I get to see everyone's version of most interesting. How you package a knife when you sell it, I think it says one thing about you, but how you ship your own knife that you expect to get returned to you is, I get some very securely packed packages here with stuff taped to the side inside of, Ziploc bags inside of everything. I fill my garbage can up underneath my desk every day. Like we're just with packaging materials, just like ripping off layers and layers and layers of stuff. So then when I send it back, I'm very conscious now. Like if this guy sent it to me like this, he probably wants it coming back not in an envelope.
My desk is partially cluttered with stuff that I should just throw it. I should just throw it away. Just throw it away like this. This is it's an envelope.
But you could put so many things in it.
Think of all the things I could put in it.
You could put an iPhone in there and something.
It's been laying on the top of the heap for weeks, and I've mailed dozens of knives since it's been on my desk. And that was the whole point, was I was going to use it for a knife. It's still here.
You think I'm fucking getting rid of this box? This is a good box for shipping Koenigs. This is
what if you ever needed to ship 3 Koenigs in one box? That's it. That's the one.
I can't throw this away, so I'll just set it here in my pile of just in case I need it later boxes.
Cut the bottom, flatten it, put it on a shelf.
But then it won't be like my box. Like this box, I don't know why I have, honestly.
Yeah, that one you'll never need that.
This is far too big. I'm never shipping this many knives. But
right. That's for like I don't know, 8 mule teams.
Or like a K-bar or something like that. But I have one. What if I need it?
I did get a cool knife at Blade Show that I haven't talked about.
Ooh.
If I could find it, for crying out loud. I got a Mule Team M398. Didn't have one yet.
Oh yeah.
This one came with Micarta scales, and came from Travis Vanway.
Nice.
Yeah, but if you didn't know, Travis Vanway is the owner of the Knife Joker, the knifejoker.com, and yeah, he brought a backpack full of knives to Blade Show, and he was like, "Yeah, I got some knives to sell." I was like, "What do you got?" And he tells me about this one. I went, "Dude, I don't have one of those. I'll take it."
If you are wondering, if you don't aware, Travis Vonway was very influential to me and Jason when we first started, because he'd been around for a long time when we first got into the hobby. So he's been around this place on the Facebook groups for a long time.
Long time. Well, hey there, Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff. Hope showed up earlier. Hi, Hope.
Vero Isotope Mini Prototype of Blade Show. How was
dude, I played with it. Did you see it?
Oh, that's the integral one. Yes, I did. That is a great knife. I was thinking
I'm
about
so happy about it.
Synapse. That's a good knife.
So I happen to have an isotope right here. This used to belong to Mr. Daniel, and it's got the upgrade kit on it, and it's pretty, but it is pretty freaking huge. This whole knife is gigantic. This is a 3.98 blade, I think. So it's as close to 4 as you can get without being 4, and the handle is enormous. It's rather heavy.
It's the biggest Vero, right? Like,
it is the biggest Vero.
Yeah.
And the mini is not mini. The mini is PM2 sized, but
Joseph,
it's amazing.
Love him to death, and I love all the options. He's got this mini and full size and XL thing. Good thing he has the charts, because otherwise my mind would break sometimes. But yes, the mini.
If there's a chink in that man's armor, it's his terrible look. No, it's his it's the fact that the sizing is pretty funny. Yeah, he's calling it a mini, but it ain't no mini. It's smaller than this knife significantly. It's wonderful. I would say it's PM2 sized, and I'm very excited for that one. So it was phenomenal. Somebody asked about his fixed blade. His fixed blades are cool as hell, and so are his kitchen knives.
His fixed blade drops. I just got an email for it. If I didn't delete it. His fixed blade is dropping here soon. June 30th, his fixed blade drops. Those jammers with those really cool in-pocket clips.
You're going to want the sheath with the clip on it that looks like it belongs on a fulcrum. Yep. That's the one you're going to want. Trust me. That sheath is phenomenal. It's extremely well thought out.
At a Blade Show, he had, I think you buy the sheath and the clip is separate add-on, or what he's doing, and you get the knife with the sheath. It's really cool watching. Like, the sheath is designed to be worn in your pocket, and it's totally functional. Like, you can have other stuff. You can put your wallet in there still, but it hides the knife and just leaves the handle sticking up. It's pretty dope.
Yep, pretty cool. I told Joseph this when I got to talk to him briefly, because he was so busy. I don't know that anyone's busier at Blade Show than Joseph Vero. He is extremely busy every time I see him. But he told me that he had put a lot of thought into this fixed blade project. He was really excited about it. He was passionate about it, particularly because he doesn't like fixed blades. Generally, as a rule, he's not a fixed blade guy. So when he came up with this one and found that he could really live with it, he goes, I think this is something that everybody's going to want. And I mentioned to him, I said, I really like that you picked that blade shape, because of all your blade shapes, I think of that as being most distinctively you. The Axon blade shape.
Yeah.
It's the most like him, right? Nobody else does exactly that blade shape. So I thought it was a home run. And
I know it's purely aesthetic, but a Vero is not a Vero without the notch, and it's still got the notch. That's a good.
You got to have the V spot.
It's still got to have the V spot. It's like saying Spyderco doesn't have a hole in it. Come on,
right? I like the kitchen knives that have the super tiny hole in them.
Yeah,
just to have it.
in that case, I'd be like, I'd rather them kind of not have it.
Right.
Oh, I got a question. Is something going down in the group with people posting troll posts in the last couple of weeks? I've been seeing a couple of things trying to agitate the masses, it seems like.
Troll posts trying to aggravate the masses.
Someone posted a post of like 20 pictures of broken Spydercos the other day, and I don't know their motivation for posting it. I've seen a couple
Oh,
posts like that.
yeah, he was yeah, there does seem to be some beef being slung around.
Some like repeating of memes found in other groups. Like it's just we don't care. It's not gonna hurt my feelings, but it's like what's going on?
Here's my thought on it. Spyderco makes an extremely thin blade, and they make an extremely thin angle on the edge of the knife. And they put a big ass hole in it so that it's super easy to open. And then people complain about them potentially breaking because they've seen a couple pictures of the internet of broken knives. You can't design a knife to slice as well as a Spyderco blade without taking on a little bit of extra possibility of breakage compared to something that's big and fat, like maybe an Adamas blade. And I'm not picking on an Adamas. The blade is beefy city, right? It's not going to break. Everybody complains about, well, the hole is the reason why they break. Well, there's a hole where the thumb stud goes to, so that can break too.
Yeah, except for the blade stock is this thick. It's a lot harder to break than when it's that thick.
Also, Spyderco makes squillions of knives. So if you found 10 of them that are broken, congratulations. You found 10 broken ones. Like even Toyota has 10 broken cars. You know what I mean?
No. Oh, they send those ones to ISIS.
Like the same thing with 204P. Like every time a 204P blade breaks, everybody goes, "Oh, there's another one. See, I told you it's a conspiracy." I'm like, okay, well now there's 7. Okay, I'm just not.
I mean,
Yeah, Paul's hitting it on the head. Like 10 out of 100,000. Okay, I don't know the number for what Spyderco makes in a year, but it's a crap load of knives. And then you've got Taichung, and you've got mainland China, and you've got Seki City. There's all these different places where they make knives, right? Italy. So add them all up, and some of them are going to break. And guys, we don't know what people do with these knives when they break.
well, also it's like they always break at the hole. I'm like, yeah, where do you want it to break? Of course, it's going to break at the thinnest spot.
Right.
It's the thinnest spot.
It's gonna, yeah, that checks out. If it broke through the ricasso, then that would be really weird.
Yeah, that'd be more concerning if it didn't break at the spot that was most likeliest to break.
Christian Klein says they make 20,000 knives a month.
I've seen at least
holy cow, that's
the
a lot
same person post the same picture of. This person had a whole folder of saved Spyderco broken knives. I'm not saying there was none, but there was like 15 or 20 probably. The effort that you have to go through to find that many broken blades, I can't remember seeing that many ever on the history of this group.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what motivated the post. I think he was just trying to be funny, or he saw it somewhere else. I don't know, but somebody put a lot of thought into that little slideshow.
You know who doesn't like being agitated by trolley posts? Mr. Triple B doesn't like being agitated by trolley posts. He likes to get some facts on paper in response because he's
dude bought a $110 just to prove a point the other day. Did you see that? That was interesting. I like the dude that was talking smack to him, didn't even know who he was. It would help if Sean put his name, if he spelled his name right. That would help.
Yes, it would.
Love you, Sean. I love you.
Yes.
I admire you. I respect you. But the name makes it hard. It makes it hard. People don't know who you are.
You could change it to Triple B and then people would still know him.
I know he was trying to keep his knife life separate from his personal life, but at this point, the damage is done. You've smeared the two together.
Yeah.
Got to steer into the skid, I think. Brian Brown Jaeger version 3 has some cool options coming. Only seems like a few dealers and only 50 of each, though. Yes, this is a really cool drop because different dealers are giving different looks, and they're only available at that dealer. And I've seen probably 5 or 6 now, and I think they all look badass. If I had to pick one, I'd have a hard time. They're all really good. Tom, have you seen them?
Yeah, it has a new pivot. That's the only thing I noticed that was really different. Like they had really good looking scales, but the pivot head was different. I don't know whether changes he's made to it other than that.
I think he was a victim of an oversight on his V2s because the models without the liners, without the inlays, have a a pivot that stands proud
That's
away
right.
from the scale. And I know that drove him insane because if Brian had made this knife himself, it wouldn't have happened, right? But the V3s have a different pivot. The look of these things is cool. So, yeah. If you guys grab one, make sure you show it off because I'd love to see him.
Brian is a decent guy. I am okay with people supporting his company. I'm okay with it. He's an okay guy.
He's an awesome dude.
He's great.
I like him a lot. He's funny. He's approachable. He's always at every knife show, like every knife show. He's got a gang that rolls with him, and they're all awesome guys too. So, yeah, I'm always excited to see him when I see him at a show, and I always see him at every show. What's up with them Lynch Para 3 scales? I need them. Yeah, they're beautiful. I believe that is the first time that Casey Lynch has done titanium Para 3s, and it's the first skinny Para 3, of course.
I don't know why I didn't realize I was missing them for my life because they'd never been an option.
They're really nice. By the way, they only work on a G10 Para 3. They will not work on a lightweight.
Yes.
I just grabbed an Ace Grand from Lynch. Is Lynch selling Ace Grands, or do you mean just the pocket clip?
He might have like customized ones. I'm not sure.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Now, I will say these Lynch scales are, I mean, between these rip scales that I love, these Lynch scales I love almost as much, maybe as much. I don't know. Also, these Barclay scales, if you're in the market for titanium Para 3 scales, they're also excellent. There's a lot of good options out there.
Hey, Tom, I noticed something about the Barclay scales. They're shipped in boxes with labels on them that say Casey Lynch. So I believe Mr. Barclay and Mr. Lynch are BFFs. In fact, they might even be next door to each other because you Casey's label printer.
Could be. They're pretty similar scales. Like I've been asked which ones are better. They're a little bit different. Like this has different chamfers here. They obviously have different patterns. They're of equal quality though, I would say.
Yep.
So if you can't get the Lynch ones and you're dying for a set, these Barclays are 130 with the Anno at Cutlery Shop.
Several companies do sell a kit to convert a lightweight to a regular Para 3. But what I would push back and say is perhaps you should just own the regular Para 3.
See, the thing is, it's more than...
I don't understand a conversion kit to take a lightweight knife to a heavy knife.
There's literally one part that's the same, and it's the blade. And like if you're converting something, like the screws are different, the pivot's different. The one has 2 washers. One it's different. I don't know. The screws are different. It's the biggest thing, though. But you can buy a screw set, I guess.
Yeah, but like AWT does a lightweight Para 3 mod kit, so you get aluminum scales, you get all the fixings. Good to go. What's the hottest new handle material that you both saw at Blade Show? Tom, did you see a new hot handle material? I can't think of anything that stood out to me.
I've become less exotic overall in my taste. I've been gravitating more to titanium handles. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel like I've experienced every wild ass carbon fiber there is out there already. So when a new one comes along and bites me, I'll grab it. But I'm starting to go more simple with what I like for handle materials, like plain CF. And I don't know. I think some of my Aramis stuff that's a little bit over the top is probably going to go away pretty soon. So I haven't seen anything new that's really crazy. I've kind of like, I don't know, with my eye on Mamba, I'm looking at cool handle materials that are more exotic. I think might be the next cool thing to do. We'll see.
Welcome to FFIB. I'm Jason. That's Tom. We are Finger Flicked and Box. Thanks for watching tonight. No, we're not starting over.
No. Oh yeah, my friend Ted did watch our last episode. He said we were full of energy. That was our post-Blade Show episode. I watched it too. We were hurting.
Cerberus scales are dropping at Cutlery Shop on Monday, and they are bananas. They are orange G10 with black pivot rings, and they're amazing. They look really good. The G10 is beautiful. Has anyone ordered from or spoken to Aramis lately? I've seen people order from him without trouble. I don't know how he's getting them out of Russia, but he is. He did move back to Russia. He's no longer in Turkey. I don't know the status of his visa. I don't know. I wish him well. I hope it's going okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like whenever I do talk to him, I don't know if it's okay to ask him questions. So I just usually avoid those things when I really want to know the details of it.
I think you can trust it's okay to ask him questions because he should not be able to communicate with us unless he's using a VPN.
It's true. But he likes my posts when I tag him on stuff still, so he's still out there on Instagram. If you want to get a hold of him, the easiest way is Instagram, by the way.
I recommend shopping from his website and looking at things, but then direct messaging to order something. It's the great way to do it.
Did you get one of these yet?
All right, you savages. Right. Oh, no. Go ahead, Tom.
Did you get one of these yet? I'm just looking around my desk, and man, these are still blow me away that Martin made these.
I never reached out to get a set. They're cool as shit.
Yeah.
I need to.
What are you saying?
I need to reach out and talk to him. Oh, man.
I do not think Spyderco should switch from washers to bearings because washers are, you can get them dirty. You can it's just a more rugged, simple, universal, not going to fail system.
Bearings are not an improvement on washers. And if you have blades that, I don't know, guys, you can't hide bearings in a knife this thin without making it thicker or compromising the blade integrity because the bearings have to go somewhere. So the knife would get fatter if you switch. So compensating for the thickness of the bearings would require some pretty significant changes in geometry. So,
and this is as tight as these scales will go. This is on a bearing on a pivot bushing, but it's still on washers. This is one of the most amazing action knives I own, even compared to my bearing knives.
I don't think they're going to be smoother by switching to bearings. Gage Cameron's asking for more tutorials, Tom.
I should do another one. I did one not too long ago where I did 2 scale swaps. It's on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. In fact, thank you all who are watching this on YouTube right now. But we have a YouTube channel that I usually broadcast these to now that has a section called live streams. In there, there is some scale swaps I've done. There's a couple tutorials. Jason has review videos and some other things up there from other knives. So we're going to start using YouTube more often. But yeah, I will like doing those. It's fun to, when I remember, just to turn my camera on and do them live in the group. So I will try to do that again soon. I don't want to do a Manix on camera though. I don't have the confidence to do a Manix on camera. I like doing them on camera because I'm like, I'm so good at this. I don't want to do a Manix and have the ball drop out and then have my fat ass chasing it out the hallway. And then when I'm done, only find out it has that click noise that sometimes happens on Manixes.
The click noise confuses me. I don't understand what causes it.
I don't know. And it's sometimes it's only when I take them apart. So whatever they do in the factory, they're better at it than me. I've given milkshake making tutorials, but I'm telling you, vanilla bean ice cream with really rich chocolate milk. Oh, that's the chocolate ice cream.
Do they bring the boys to the yard?
It brought my boys to the yard. It brought my boy to the yard.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful little pre-game snack I had, little chocolate milkshake. And I had one last night and every night because they're delicious.
Very nice.
Yeah, so my diet's not going great at the moment. It's kind of plateaued after Blade Show. Let's try to not unplateau upwards too much.
Yeah, you got 11 months to get back to fighting shape.
No, because next year that was the rule I made. Next year I want to be like way less next year. So I got a long year ahead of me. I'm not looking forward to. I told myself when I hit a certain weight, just the weight I'm at now, I have to start like exercising.
Yeah, right. You hit the number, now you got to try.
Yeah, I know. So we'll get on that.
You know, I stopped using saran wrap about a year ago. No real reason other than I ran out. But yeah, I forgot I had a tutorial video, Tom, where I was talking about how to ship stuff, wrapping it in saran wrap.
Oh, whoa.
Not a terrible idea, right? It keeps the box together. It keeps the box from coming apart. It keeps the stuff in the box from falling out. It also waterproofs the box a little bit in case the package gets wet. But I'm still a big believer in putting a box inside an envelope and shipping it in the envelope. And if you use pirateship.com, it doesn't cost you extra to put it in an envelope. So Tom's going to do a little demo here. I'll remind you, by the way, that all the Postal Service supplies are free. You can order them if you live in the United States and you're, I don't know, you have a mailing address.
So this box was full of, I'll show you all my favorite packing supplies that you can get for free from USPS.com. So this giant ass box, which is almost empty now, was full of
trying to solo. There we go. Do it, Tom.
So this is a bubble mailer envelope. So if you're sending someone a knife, do not mail them a knife in this package. However, what you can do is you can get a US small rate box, which this is free. They send it to you. I buy these by the 100 for free. They deliver to my door. Make this into a little box on pirateship.com. This box to ship costs $8.10. So what I do with these is drop that in here, seal that up, do this, stuff this inside of there. So now you have a sealed envelope inside a box, and it's padded, and it was free. So that's how I usually ship stuff. Also,
what if you took the box, Tom, and dropped it in a second envelope?
Yes, if you want to do that, if you want to get crazier, you can take that box and save another 60 cents. Or you can put anything that will fit in this Tyvek envelope. These are the world's biggest secret to shipping stuff. So when I'm like in a rush and stuff, if I'm just shipping a spider coat, I'll just put it in one of these. But if I'm shipping anything large that doesn't fit in a small flat rate box, or if I'm shipping 2 flat rate boxes to the same person, you can put them inside this Tyvek envelope. And whatever ships in here is like $7.60 on Pirate Ship. And it's waterproof. You cannot tear this stuff. It's Tyvek. It's house wrapping material. So this, you can put anything that will fit inside of here, which is, you can put like 8 knives inside of this thing and ship it for like $7.50. So these are wonderful. Get them in a big quantity. The bubble mailers are nice for padding. And the flat rate box, they're quick, simple, fold them up, throw stuff in, and ship them out.
I've noticed a knife that's been tampered with. It's always a cardboard box, and someone's raked something down the side of the cardboard box and pulled the knife out. I've never seen anybody cut through an envelope and then cut through the box inside the envelope and then cut through the envelope inside the box and pull a knife out.
Yeah,
I think there's something to overwrapping these, and I would hate to tell you guys to go buy packing material when you can get it for free.
One thing, I don't know if this is just my paranoia or if it makes sense. When you buy postage, duct tape, anything that leaves a residue on stuff, don't touch knife boxes or knives with it. But
I've almost returned boxes for having too much duct tape on them because I don't want to chew it open.
But when you buy insurance from USPS at the counter, right? You go there and say, here's a knife that you don't want to ship. Will you put it in a box for me and do all the work? and then you buy insurance on it, and then they stamp on the front of the box, this package costs $27 to ship. In my head, I'm like, if I saw someone shipping something this big and cost $27, I know there's something really good in there. But when you use pirate ship, it doesn't print how much the total postage is on it. It just says U.S. postage
it doesn't
paid.
tell you how much the insurance is. It doesn't tell it that it's insured. It just has a barcode. It's a great way to ship, and it's free. Free account. Technically, they build it into the cost of the shipping, but they lose money every year, so they're not building it enough into the shipping cost. But yeah, they run a budget deficit every year, and it's not technically owned by the government. It's just like what do they call it? It is private, but it's also their only client is the government. Brian Roden would be able to speak to that better than I could. Well, kids, I think that's about it, Tom.
I would like to put advertisement out. If anyone needs knife sharpened, shoot me a DM. I have about a week's worth of work in front of me, and that's like the amount I like to keep. So hit me up, and I will get you on the books.
I wanted to talk real quick about a Tanto showed up in the group the other day with a guy who was very sour about the fact that he sent it back for warranty repair and it wasn't fixed. I asked him to send it to me so I could check it out, and I found that someone had molested the lock bar. It had been sanded, filed, cut on, whatever, but it's a smaller lock bar than it was when it left the factory. So he wasn't getting good lockup because somebody modified the knife in a crappy way before selling it to him. So under the terms of a warranty, that's not a warranty item, right? If I drop a turbocharger on my Honda and I blow the engine up, it's not Honda's fault. So if you modify your knife and then send it to Spyderco, they probably won't fix it. But that didn't stop me from telling Spyderco about it. And I suggested, hey, if you'd done a liner swap, it would have solved it. That would have solved the problem for the guy. So whether you charge for that or not, whether you do it or not, that's up to you. Maybe you don't want to be giving out free parts. Maybe you don't want to be doing that, but that would have solved it. Yeah. So Spyderco's aware. They saw the whole thing happen because they've got people in the group. So I'm happy about that, because that means as you guys find things that are going on, they know about it. And they're happy to know about it.
They are very happy.
But I just wanted to catch you guys up. It wasn't a faulty knife. It wasn't a bummer. They didn't screw him. Somebody monkeyed with the knife and he didn't know it. So anyway, it's the full story. Waddy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Tom and I will see you next week. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have a great Father's Day weekend. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so call your dad. Tell him you love him. Tell him that you're sorry for being a knucklehead. Tell him that you miss him. So, yeah, tomorrow's also my dad's birthday, Tom. He's turning 70, and he doesn't want to party. So I have to figure out how to call him and not make it into a party.
Is calling him, is that a fuss? He doesn't want to fuss?
It is kind of a fuss, but it is Father's Day, so it's forgivable.
Okay.
But yeah, reach out to your dads, everybody. Have a good day.
Night.
Happy Father's Day to everyone.